Welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this show today. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you do smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the comments, whether it's live or on replay. I would greatly appreciate to hear your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions on all things that are good. Listen, patience was key. Patience was key. Aston Villa's transfer window in outgoings has finally taken centre stage. As I've said previously on a video today, you wait for one bus, then three come along. This is madness. This is absolutely madness what's going on. So much news, so much official news, none of these rumours, murmurs, blah, blah, blah. This is like the real deal stuff. And we're going to get into it. But I guess again, I'm sat here probably saying, I should have listened to some of you. I should have listened. Patience was key. And maybe that will be a learning curve for the season. 38 games. We're going to have to be patient to see how Villa get on. However, it's one of those things in football, and I'll come back to it. We all want the same for our club. We all want the best. We all want success. We all want to be winning trophies. And whether you're doing it in a quick, frantic way or a calm, patient way, we're here to get the show going. So big up to each and every single one of you. Patience was key. Anyone who has remained calm and consistent throughout the window, I salute you. I don't know how you've done it, to be honest. I don't know how you've done it because I've had days where my head's absolutely gone. And that's one of the things. You have to sit back, relax, and sometimes say, hey, some people are right. And I know Kevin and Michael, they'll want the plaudits, and I've got to give it to them. They have been the people constantly telling me on live shows, calm down. Well, listen, this is your moment. You guys were right. I'll have a bit of that. You guys were right. But I'm not here to talk about apologies anymore. I'm here to talk about the real deal, the transfers, the business end of things now. This is crunch time. We're 3 days away. We're 3 days away from our opening Premier League game against Newcastle. And all of a sudden, the inferno has been lit. Monchi is cooking. And I think we're going to see that inferno go hotter and hotter. Outgoings are now clear. Incomings, not so much. But do you believe in the process of incomings? I do. I always have. But yeah, big up to each and everyone. We've got Duncan in the house. Michael's back in with us. PC, Canadian, British Columbia, locked in. Kevin, big up to you. Stephen, one of our members, Black Country Villain as well. Big up to you guys. On top of the 3-0 battle we're giving them on the weekend. That's it. Exactly. We are going to be discussing the Jacob Ramsey rivalry. Derby, whatever you want to call it. That's coming up as well, isn't it? Duncan's announced that Ramsey and Bailey, the two seniors to sell, looking good. The freed up wages will allow us to bring Unai's targets in now. Absolutely. And Kevin's loving his thank you. No worries, Kevin. And Canadians are naturally calm and collected. Is that true? Is that true? I love it. Patrick said, I've said for weeks that Ramsey isn't at the level we need and should be sold. Got some brief from the one of our own brigade. Looks like Unai agreed with me. There we go. There we go. Brainy Bryant said, exclusive. Aston Villa talks with Arsenal over Leandro Trossard. Is that something? I haven't even seen that. I'll keep an eye on that as we're doing the show. Big up to Superman. He said from day one, no big hitters were going. However, we did go negative once Sir Josh, and it worked. Maybe the Sultan and Co were watching. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think Unai, he clearly wants to shut me up. He clearly doesn't want me to be right, and he's got some inside info somewhere, hasn't he? So it's got to be that. But shall we start? Shall we start on the news that has broken today? And I think we should go with the Leon Bailey situation. The most current, up-to-date news, RE Leon Bailey. I'm sure all of you are aware, again, I did an upload earlier today about David Ornstein dropping the absolute bomber on this one. Out of nowhere, really, because I think we're all sidetracked by Jacob Ramsey. We're all a bit like, well, focusing on the Jacob Ramsey situation. There's a lot of talk of Jacob Ramsey this, Jacob Ramsey that. What's happening with Jacob Ramsey? And all of a sudden, he's gone, do you know what? Have a bit of Leon Bailey as well. And I thought, classic, 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 classic. I love this. Villa aren't messing around, are they now? They're like, you know what, let's get this done. So let's just remind ourselves. Let's just remind ourselves of the Bailey news. And big up to everyone in the chat. Keep smashing the like button for me. I appreciate you guys in here. Roma are in talks over a potential deal to sign Leon Bailey. The 28-year-old is available to leave with clubs in Turkey, including Besiktas and Saudi Arabia, also keen. No bid, but talks continue. So I was like, okay. So we got talks. What are talks? Because Bailey seems to have had these talks at the start, and I genuinely believe, whether you guys did or didn't, I want to know in the chat. I think that Saudi Arabia link with Leon Bailey has always been there or was there from the start of the window. And basically, like a lot of the Villa boys, they've all turned their nose up at the Saudi Arabia project. They've all basically said, "No, I don't fancy that." It's a credit to that. Besiktas then do offer a little different proposition, as did the likes of Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. The Turkish league is growing, it's developing, it's signing some big hitters, and maybe that might have, interested Bailey. However, this one now feels real. This one feels like the big, sort of juicy site in this. And what we've realised is that the actual conversation, which needs to be really clear about Leon Bailey, in case you missed it, is talks are centering on a loan with an obligation to buy for Leon Bailey. Guys, how much do you think this obligation to buy will be for Leon Bailey? And second of all, how do you feel that it's not a transfer straight away? I like that it's an obligation to buy. Basically, you've got to have him no matter what, but we'll give him to you basically for free for a year and see if you can get something out of him. I'm hoping as well they cover a large percentage of his wages. We don't know that yet. We'll have to wait and see on what the Bailey wage situation is. But ultimately, for me, the obligation to buy is massive. It basically means we won't see any more Leon Bailey. That's it. It's done. It's dusted. We won't have to watch Bailey in a Villa shirt again. And if he looks back, he's going to look at his preseason and go, do you know what? What could have been? Like, his preseason was so bad. So bad. And I just think that we're lucky that we've got a suitor here now in AS Roma, which ironically, we played at AS Roma at Walsall, and he had a stinker against them as well. So don't know what their scouting team's doing, but there we go. But what fee are you giving? What fee would you want for Leon Bailey? Let me know, you guys. Duncan has said a perm fee for Bailey, 25 mil. Do you know what? Considering we paid 30 odd for him, I'll take around that. If we can get our money back for Bailey and what we paid all those years ago, you sort of go, do you know what? We'll bow out on that one. So there we go. I think 2 more signings income, one be a tips present and out of the claret and blue. Love that phrase. It's Twist says, I'm okay with obligation as it will help the PSR for next summer. Correct. And I'm going to talk on this a little bit more in a second. You've taken those words, those buzzwords right out of my mouth. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm happy to get 40 million for JJ. That 40 million for Jacob Ramsey. We're going to come on to Ramsey in a minute. I'm going to come on to Ramsey after Bailey, but in all seriousness, 40 million. And have I got 30 million for Bailey? Then we've robbed these clubs. So yeah, big up to each and every single one of you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking. And Brainy Bryan, I've starred that comment because I'm going to come to that near the end of the show. But yeah, for me, 25 to 30 mil. Thank you. Leon Bailey, go enjoy yourself. So we know it's an obligation to buy it. The last update I've had, or seen, should I say, not had, seen, is this one coming out of Sasha Tavolori, who said Leon Bailey's camp are expected in Italy tomorrow to negotiate with AS Roma. We're going to crank this one up with AS Roma. We're going to crank this one up. I think we're going to get this fully locked in and hopefully sorted before, maybe even before the weekend. Now, some people had Leon Bailey in the starting lineup against Newcastle. Some people actually said Unai Emery is so loyal to Leon Bailey, there would be no surprise if he starts against them. The biggest thing we have to talk about is that now I don't expect to see a Leon Bailey play against Newcastle. Now, Jacob Ramsey is another conversation, but I can't see how Jacob Ramsey plays either now at the weekend. And I don't know if you guys would agree on that, but I just think it's too much of a mess. Too much of a mess for either of these players with the news that's come out to even play. So there we go. But Bailey, for me, look, I'm not having it where people have said, oh, this could be the year he comes good. I just think that when a player has lost his mojo, when a player has lost his confidence, he's not going to get that back. Bailey, for me, it's a confidence thing. It's a belief thing. Yes, we know he's got technical ability, but the player looks dead in front of goal. He looks void of ideas. Doesn't know how to beat a man. Very predictable coming on that left foot. And I just think he was a very easy player to play against. Granted, I think he worked better in his defensive game and had to, and Unai Emery got a better tune about him defensively. But offensively, going forward, Leon Bailey for me, honestly, it just looked like someone had a piece of rope behind him and was constantly pulling him back, and he just felt this tug. It's a shame, but it is what it is. I just don't think we are ever going to get that season where we qualify for the Champions League ever again from him. His defensive work has greatly improved last year. It did, but offensively, no chance. Unai Celery, love that. I like Bailey, but bar the Derby season, a total flop to be honest. Correct. Some people are trying to justify it as one good season, one bad one. No. He had average seasons before that. Can you remember when Bailey actually first played, especially under the Gerrard? He had this tendency when the going got tough, he limped off or had an injury or had to limp off. And it was very questionable about his fight and character. And yeah, that one-off season that he had, we're never going to discredit it. It was a beautiful season. He was massive in our contributions to get Champions League football, and we won't ever deny that. Bailey played a pivotal part in Villa getting Champions League football, but you can't live off one season, and that's unfortunately what he's done. Don't tell me Spurs are beating PSG right now, are they? That's crazy. PC said, I'll miss Bailey, backed him the whole way. Favourite memories is sister Watkins and Watkins' origin to crown celebration. Never got the appreciation deserved. I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, it's a good reminder. That is a stark reminder, actually. But yeah, what else you guys said? Bailey looks afraid for some reason, and exactly, he looks like he's got the shackles on him, Stephen. He genuinely looks like he is someone who isn't being able to be unleashed how he wants to play. I do feel that. 1 goal in 29 games. Oh, this is on Ramsey. Yeah, I'll come to the Ramsey chat in a second. Definitely. Let's just wrap up on the Bailey. But Super Matty said, would anyone in the chat like Bailey to stay? No, I can't. I don't think anyone is telling me that they would want to see Leon Bailey play it out. Now, people could go, well, what are we doing about right wing then? Is it literally only Donyell Marlon? Well, this is where Unai's probably looked at his squad. And in my opinion, he's seeing right wing covered already. I think people are talking about Villa signing a forward with Leon, with the Bailey and Ramsey situation. What I see is this. I think Unai Emery sees right wing covered by Malin, John McGinn, and Morgan Rogers. And that's how I personally feel. I think Evan Gessant is now going to take the left wing, and Matson can be the backup there. And where I think Villa are actually going to recruit is in that number 9 position. Now that Ramsey's off the books, I actually think he's going to try and find that backup number 9, as opposed to a wide man. Now, again, hearing the names McGinn and Morgan Rogers out wide isn't probably what Villa fans want to hear. That's me also not ruling out the fact that we could get someone like a Garnacho. We could go and get another classy winger. But we're really going to have to see. I'd buy Diallo back for sure. Yeah, he would be quality, isn't he? He'd be absolute quality. Bailey and Ramsey goes and to get someone in. Correct. I think if we get our money back for Bailey or close enough, say 20, 25 million, we should be pleased. That along with the sales of Costa and Enzo, we'll have some good money coming in that. So exactly that, Krim. And as I said, 25 mil. I'm laughing to the bank for Bailey now. I really am. But yeah, agree, Captain. Bailey's a trad wing with an 8% cross. Is that what is? Wow, that's shocking. As for Bailey, if Emery can't motivate him, nobody can. Yeah, I mean, who is the AS Roma manager? I can't remember. Oh, it's the old Atalanta, Gasparini, isn't it? It'll be Rodgers on the right wing, I bet, which didn't work out at all last year. I prefer Bailey to the configuration. Interesting. Now, the whole debate about Rodgers and why I've said Rodgers on the right is because of the story about Marco Asensio that is emerging. And therefore, we have cover in those positions. Bailey looks like a dead circus horse that can't find his way home. He's so lost. Surely Matson and Gesson on the left would be insane, especially as Gesson works hard defensively as well. It's pacey, it's strong, it's physical, it's direct. It would be unreal. I think Super John McGinn might fill in at right wing when needed this season. Unai might see that Rodgers wasted. I really hope. Sorry, right back. Do you mean McGinn right back or right wing? I mean, right back's a hell of a shot. Imagine John McGinn goes in a right back. But yeah, honestly, I don't want to see Morgan have to go and do a job right wing. It's just gonna hurt the soul, really. It really is. Doug said again, Asensio and Rashford and done what kickstarted season last year. Take Asensio back and blink for that. Asensio cover right wing. Yeah, we never really got to see him play right wing, did we? We never got to see him do that as much as we moved forward. I think Rodgers off the left, the centre middle, Mal gets on right, but all can interchange. So it's like difficult to stop pacing direct. Big up Les and Jamie. Rodgers must not play on the right side. I'll be fuming. I'll be ranting like crazy because lessons have to be learnt from last season. And Morgan Rodgers in the wide right position didn't work. And again, I think this is another position PC that Villa will concentrate on. In my opinion, I think we're going to get Asensio, a backup number 9 who can also play probably wide, and a centre back. I think we've got 3 more incomings now. And we are looking for versatile players. A centre back who can play right back, like Gasson. We'll probably need someone who can play across that front line. But there you go. We need to sign Bissett, Jan Bissett. He's been my signing all summer. Come on, Josh, that won't happen now. Come on. I'd love it. But yeah, big up to everyone. Let's quickly touch on the Jacob Ramsey situation. As I said, I think we're all in agreement on. I think we're all on agreement in Leon Bailey. Although PC has waved the flag for him, and I rate that and respect that. So what do we have? We had Fabrizio dropping it last night, didn't we? We had Fabrizio. Yeah. I don't know. The way to say it is Fabrizio dropped it and then everyone else jumped on it. But it does feel like it's got, well, it did have substance and a lot of people reporting it. But yeah, so let's go to Jacob Ramsey then. So I've got to find where it all started. Mixed reports. Some people are saying they're in talks. Some people are saying that fee is agreed. It's all mixed. This is where you want to see the range of stories. I'm going to share the range of stories. Now, let me know which one you see. And big up to Super Matty. Love the debate as always, and big up to your contribution. I'll come to chat on that. But let's go through this. So we've had, after a verbal agreement was almost done last night, Newcastle set to complete the Jacob Ramsey deal today. Full agreement imminent for 40 mil. That was for Fabrizio Romano 12 hours ago. Okay? Watch the range of journalism. This is where, transfers are nuts. Whether people guess or they think they've got their scoop. Let's see it. Let's see what else people say about it. So then, Mike McGrath comes in. And he said this. Mike McGrath, Newcastle agreed a fee of Aston Villa for Jacob Ramsey, package 40 million. Whether that's copying Fabrizio, you never know with some of these people where they just jump on it. Then the story, again, changes. And this is where I think we're at. I do think this is where we are at with Jacob Ramsey situation. Newcastle have agreed a fee with Aston Villa for Jacob Ramsey, the package 40 mil. Ramsey still has to speak to Newcastle and agree personal terms before undergoing a medical. Now, someone's just said it in the chat, and it's Adam. And I'm completely on that wavelength. The more I've looked at it, I think he doesn't want to go. I think this is Jacob Ramsey being forced out the club. Again, read this. Newcastle are close to a full agreement to sign Villa midfielder Ramsey. He speaks to Villa today before making final decision and entering into talks over personal terms. Is anyone um is anyone else getting that vibe? Is anyone else getting that vibe that actually this feels like that Ramsey wants to stay, but Villa are sort of saying, "Hey, you need to go. You need to go." What do you guys genuinely and personally think on that one? I would genuinely love to know your thoughts on that. I'm in the situation in camp where I look at Jacob Ramsey and I think, mm, mm, I don't think you want this move. I don't think you want this move. Um, yes, they are, Si. Big up to you, Si, in the house. Time for Ramsey to move on, exactly that. But does he want to move on, or is it Villa pushing him out? That's the question. I guess I can cover all the positions. Asensio, right wing number 10, right back is a big issue, and that's what we will touch on in a second. Kevin, I think you're on something here. We're delaying the deal, so we can't register in time for Saturday. No way does Ramsey play on Saturday either. No way. Massive PSR positive for players, huge potential, but too injury prone and inconsistent for me. He isn't the guaranteed first team starter yet. United does rate him. Could be a shrewd move. Look, I'll give my opinion in a second. This is one's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Briefing to be done tomorrow. Duncan said Romano said advanced sort of 40 men agree. I'm going to be really blunt and obvious. This is the most easiest deal Villa will do all summer. Easiest deal that Villa will do all summer. Selling Jacob Ramsey for 40 million. Trust me. Trust me. DCL on a 1 year for free. I don't know if you've seen Duncan. DCL was going to Leeds. I think he's going to Leeds United. He has been offered a new deal. Is this true? Is this true? Is this why these talks are happening? Could we see a big U-turn? Could we see Jacob Ramsey be given a new contract and he stays? And actually, this was just part of a negotiation tactic for him to get a better deal. Remember, Jacob Ramsey was on only 70k a week. Maybe he's using the Newcastle situation as a way to get a bumper contract at Villa. And then, if that's the case, that is showing that Villa want him to stay. If Villa are offering a new contract to him, then Villa and Unai Emery genuinely want Ramsey to stay. If it's the other way around, and actually it's not that, then I think Villa want him out. So there we go. British Schmidt, big up to you. Yes, Spurs are winning, I believe. So there we go. We offered 85, but he wants 125 apparently. That's the rumours going around. I'd love this swap deal as well. Duncan, I really would. Right, here we go. I love that as well, Adam. So the next part is, just showing you this. Jacob Ramsey's home talks Villa over his future. At the moment, there's no agreement on personal terms to Newcastle, so nothing is decided. Do you know what would be really iconic, really? Is if Newcastle failed to close another player. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if Newcastle can't close another player. And this is backed up. This is where Michael said about it. Here we go. So Matt Starr has put contract talks over a new deal for Jacob Ramsey have failed to progress in recent months, with Aston Villa not offering the kind of package wanted by his camp. A little bit of greed, is it, from JJ? Look, the situation is this: 70k a week for a Premier League player, in comparison to fellow teammates on 120, 140. Maybe that's why he's kicking up a fuss a little bit. My issue with Jacob Ramsey is the following, and people who know me well enough on this channel and consistently watch me, you know what I'm going to say about Jacob Ramsey. For me, he is a 1 minute madness guy. He has 1 minute of something, a flash of brilliance, a bit of pace, a bit of trickery, an assist, maybe even a goal here and there, rarely. But that's it. For the rest of the 89, 88 minutes, the game passes him by. The game passes him by. And I'm looking at it going, what does Jacob Ramsey do? Why is there this hype about Jacob Ramsey? And so when you're telling me that we're going to get offered 40 million for this kid, he's not a kid, by the way, he's 24 years old now. But let's not pretend Jacob Ramsey is in that 18 to 21-year-old potential bracket, or even an under 23. He's 24 years old now, yet to get an England call-up, yet to be an England international. Yes, he's had his metatarsal done over, but 40 million? Come on, guys. We'd be absolutely mad not to take that. 40 million of pure profit. Absolutely crazy for a player, as someone said in the chat earlier, who's not even guaranteed to start for Villa this season. I think he's another one that people say he has potential. This is his season. We've got to stop doing that now. Bailey and Ramsey were the same cut of cloth. We kept going. This will be their year. There is a player there. We've got to trust it will come good. And we're done with that now. And the inconsistency, the ghosting of games. Compare him to Morgan Rogers, a player younger than him. It's chalk and cheese of impacting games. So let me know your thoughts. 40 million. I don't think, again, there's anyone in the chat who's going to tell me otherwise that they want to keep Jacob Ramsey. No one ever tells me this guy is the guy. Ramsey just so inconsistent. It's annoying. One of our own doesn't wash it anymore. Perform or goodbye. Harsh, but I'm looking for when exactly. Bailey probably has a bit more impact than Ramsey. It's just that scary, yeah. 40 mil, then he's got to go. And with our FCR complaints, how much more are they realistically going to give him? Exactly. Ramsey is a lightweight for me. I don't see the quality. Yeah. Patrick said, Ramsey is not getting a salary increase at Villa. If they've been negotiating 6 months, no agreement. He needs to go. Exactly. No time wasting. A fit Buendia is a better player than Ramsey. I think he's caused a lot of headaches now. So he said, God's sakes, Posterior never sell the idea to Newcastle. Exactly. Paid injury leave. What they failed to get him and he scores against them. Just be iconic, wouldn't it? Anything can happen with Newcastle. You're not quite sure if they're going to get the deal done. That's the problem. If you got paid on performance, you know Villa money. Facts. But yeah, love it. Chat. Great interaction. Ultimately, for me, I'm settled. I'm happy. I'm actually really I feel quite relieved in a way that we're getting rid of someone like Jacob Ramsey because I feel like he is someone who would steal minutes in a way. I know it sounds crazy. Marcus Rashford just came in and said, yeah, you're second fiddle to me. And straight away I knew. I was like, Ramsey's development hindered again. Rashford's come in. Yeah, we know where this guy is now. Yeah, facts as well, Kevin. Duncan, sorry. Right, here we go. Let's go on to the Marco Asensio situation. So, Marco Asensio is considered a summer priority in the mind of Aston Villa sporting director Monchi. I'm not gonna lie, they have you know how Unai Emery has his love child in Pau Torres, and we all know that he absolutely loves him. There seems to be a bit of a love affair between Monchi and Asensio. We're constantly seeing these reports about constantly seeing these reports on there. Yeah, he sent me some somehow. I can't remember. No. But yeah, big up to you guys. Sorry, I just got airdropped from Heidi. There you go. Big up to you guys. And big up to Heidi, of course. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, love affair. Monchi and Asensio. They seem to love each other. But here we go. Further on to this. Aston Villa are preparing to make their first official offer for Marco Asensio. An offer of around 20 million, including bonuses, could be enough for PSG. Guys, I thought we were getting this guy on loan. Where the Flimadam Jimmy are we at 20 million on Asensio? Not as listen, I wasn't very favourable for this move in the first place. But then as soon as I found out, but then when I thought, it's on loan, I'll do that again. 20 million? 20 million? 20 million? Guys, talk to me. 20 million. Yes or no? Because it used to be 12 to 15 million. So what's happened? What's changed? Why has the price gone up? What happens at 12 exactly? Asensio, Malin Rogers, even Watkins. This is Virgin Villa. Side's loving it. Do not Rogers, even Watkins. This is Virgin Villa. Loving it. Do not want him. Do not want him. Dropped off massively. And Unai's love for him means nothing, given he's also, yeah, it's true. Luckily, João Felix has a club now at Al Nassr, but you never know. That could still somehow be linked to us, even though he's found a new club. I'm sorry to say this, but I find him using Jack jumped at the first team that went for him. I like Jack. I find it funny. I mean, he wants to play football, doesn't he? Patrick said 18, 20 year olds have potential. They have reached potential by the time reached transfer. Yeah, in Jacob Ramsey. Duncan is saying Asensio is already proven at Villa. No brainer for me. That is the one thing. That is the one thing. Asensio knows the club, knows Unai. He's going to slot in. He's going to be absolutely fine. This is another interesting thing, though. The length of his contract. We're going to have Marco Asensio tied down for 3 years. Wow. Wow. That's a big contract. Do you know what the first thing that comes to my mind when I read that, though? Yeah, Krim's already said it. Asensio gives me Coutinho vibe. I feel that as well. 3 years on Asensio's massive. We could be in a situation where a year and a half, 2 years in, we're looking to get rid of Asensio and we can't. And we're going to end up terminating his contract. Again, wages are the big thing here. What wages are we paying this guy? What wages are we paying Asensio? Not level, but situation. Situation of... Because I think, again, let me just double check Marco Asensio's age. Marco Asensio. Yeah. Asensio is 29 years old. Okay, it's not too late. He's 29 years old. It's not doom and gloom in the age front. But there. 100% big players of quality aren't sold for no reason. There's no smoke without fire. Now, he's nothing like Coutinho. I think Asensio will be covered in certain games because clever experience player depth is key. I think Asensio, right, this is going to sound weird. Asensio is the type of player you don't mind playing home at Villa Park. But away from home, got no time for Asensio. I don't think he fits our bill and our profile away from home. I really don't. LT says, Ramsey's been offered a new contract, wants more money. Yeah, apparently he wanted 120k, but we're not going to give it to him. So, yeah. What age did we have Coutinho, though, people? If anyone could do some research for me or no, what age did we sign Coutinho? What age did Steven Gerrard sign Coutinho? I'm not saying Asensio is anything like that, but what you could have is a player that if his form goes or gets injured and we're on stupid wages, apparently 15 mil a week. But yeah, luckily it is. But there we go. Josh, not for us to worry about wages. The club knows what they're doing. Remember how you felt about transfers, but we said the club knew what they're doing, and now we've seen that. Yeah, I do agree the club know what they're doing. Again, you're right, Michael. In that sense, we will trust. We would trust that they're not going to give him a stupid thing. The only biggest regret, and I know people can say Gerrard did it all with Coutinho, and I know that the current group in charge are not going to make the same mistakes as Gerrard does. Coutinho's salary was just stupid, as was Dendonker's. And guess what's happened to both? We're having to terminate the contracts. So, Asensio, stupid contract. I hope not. Not like, again, pay the player what they think he's worth. But stupid money, I really hope not. I really hope not. And I think we all know that we won't. Player sensitive Villa Park to give Rogers rest. All about the squad. That's true. Good job, Josh. But in certain away games off the bench could be a game changer. Exactly. Don't start Asensio away from home. But off the bench, last 20, 30 minutes to unlock when it's tired, yes. And the reason I say that is Asensio out of possession there's a clear weakness with Asensio, isn't there? There's a clear weakness with Asensio out of possession, concentration, physicality, fitness. In possession, we know he's absolutely one of our most talented and will be our most talented. Out of possession, if you've watched Asensio, he again ghosts in his role out of possession. So at home, where Villa are going to dominate more of the ball, absolutely have Asensio. When we're away from home, especially when you're playing your Man Cities, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, you know, those teams away from home, you really don't want to expect to see Asensio there, right? And I think that is what you saw against PSG. Marco Asensio didn't feature in that way as much as he probably could have because of that fear of going with. Apparently Coutinho's 29 as well, I think. Okay, fair. So, I love how you jump on the club wanting to get rid of Ramsey bandwagon. It's Ramsey that wants out. I said it could be either way. I said it feels like Jacob Ramsey doesn't want out and it's the club pushing him. But I've also said the other way that basically, if he's looking to get more money, that's a PR stunt. That's a stunt for him to try and force a leave himself. I don't know. I don't know. It feels more though that Villa want him out. Why? Because it's 14 million of pure profit. 40 million of pure profit. And I think that's where Villa's mindset is. But yeah, big up to everyone. I love the opinions and debates in the chat. That's what it's all about. I thought Asensio went on loan to Fenerbahce. Yeah, it was meant to, but didn't happen. It was meant to, but didn't happen. Any more comments on Asensio? Get them in. Asensio went quite quiet last season because the team's formation changed. Asensio was on fire with Rashford out wide. Correct. As soon as Rashford moved in centre forward role. Yeah, that's true. So who's going to be that man for him, Patrick? Evan? Evan, get on. And breaking news, Tottenham are beating PSG 2-0 in the Super Cup. How? What have that Chelsea team done to PSG? They've killed their confidence. Clearly. Thank you so much, my love.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
It's all right. What have Chelsea done to that PSG team? Like, seriously. A really cool Asensio running rings around the entire Spurs midfield late last season. Total quality. Yes, he's a super sub, more and more home player. Football players have become like modern art, stupidly overpriced and no one knows why. Very good point. Very good point. I tell you, Chelsea have damaged PSG. As long as our club is getting improved, I don't care who stays against it. It's Constant Tillemans, big up to them. Bring Donnarumma to Villa, anyone? Donnarumma wants out, doesn't he? He got left out of this. He's had a falling out. Again, do you know what will be the destroyer of this league? If Chelsea signed Donnarumma. If Chelsea signed Donnarumma, I could see Chelsea going on and winning the Premier League 3 or 4 seasons in a row. Like that's Captain Earthquake, cause viruses. Yeah, we've actually got some seasonal mugs. A little update. I told you about my shopping and the pumpkins. We've got matching seasonal mugs. I've of course got a more clarity colour. Hello Autumn. And Hope's got white one.
£1.49.
£1.49 home bargains. If you like your seasonal mugs or you need to find a gift for someone, £1.49. Hello Autumn pumpkins. Just like the Villa. Just like the Villa. We're now selling our goods and bringing in the goods. But yeah, that's nice. But yeah, big up to Tottenham. Thomas Frank's going to be a bit of a monster. And guys, this is where look. I think I've been very, very positive and upbeat today. All right. This is where I get a little bit worried because Villa have been able to finish in the positions that we have because Tottenham and Man United have been dusty. Tottenham and Man United have been so crap that it's given Villa an absolute chance, an absolute steal to go into those European positions. We have to be real here. Tottenham are going to be back. And I hate saying that, especially because of Deji. First thing I think of is Deji. Tottenham are going to be back. Mohamed Kudus was just a great signing for them. What will Man United do? And that's why I say Villa have to take note that this ain't going to be a breeze again getting into Europe. And that's what I'm trying to say to the fan base. Don't take it for granted that we're going to definitely finish in one of the European spots from Conference League to Champions League. Competition is coming. Spurs are going to be back. United have to have a season of finishing at least the top half of the Premier League. But what I am saying is, if Villa get it right, and we tweak, we adjust, we learn from last season, we become defensively more stable, we're more clinical in front of goal, then 100%. So 100%, I'm trying to help me. 100% Villa will be there when they need to be. I think you can't sleep on Spurs. No. Spurs aren't Spursy because I'll tell you why. Winning a trophy changes your mentality. And that's something Villa need to do. I'm going to be really adamant on this one. Winning a trophy changes your mentality as a football club, as a fan base, and as players. Once you win a trophy, you go on to do it again. I'm not saying Spurs are going to anything, but Thomas Frank's a top manager. The culture at Tottenham is they now know and have got rid of that voodoo of being trophyless. And this isn't any poxy trophy. This is the Europa League, the one that we all want to win this season. Culture's right. Mindset is right. And probably the last thing I'm going to say is this, in terms of that. Pressure's off. To be a Tottenham player, pressure is off now. They've done that trophy voodoo. Anyone who's put on a Spurs shirt for years and years and years have felt that pressure of we're trophyless, we're trophyless, we're trophyless. Manager or player, Mourinho or Conte, trophyless, trophyless. When will Spurs ever done it? Well, they've done it. They've done it. And finally, just look at what it did to Crystal Palace. I don't care if people say the Community Shields are friendly. I don't care if people say, who cares about the Community Shield? Palace have gone from never winning a trophy in their history to winning 2 in the space of 3 months. Winning a trophy changes things. Don't sleep on Spurs. Don't rule them out. But there we go. That's my thoughts on it. Spurs win Villa. Yeah, exactly, Brainy. Exactly. We have to. We have to. But I think they're going to make some good additions. Have you seen that Eze? I think is going to reject Arsenal to go to Spurs. Yeah, that is true. Villa have to listen. We need silverware now. It's getting very apparent. It's getting very apparent. We need silverware. We can't hide behind that now. We're seeing the likes of West Ham, Tottenham, Palace, even United win silverware. It's time. It's time now. Bring it on. Exactly. But yeah, we need that. So let's see what happens. Let's see what you guys are saying. Not all because they're beating PSG. As soon as they won that Europa League, I knew that was a bit of trouble. As soon as they won that Europa League, I knew there was a bit of trouble. Also, Spurs fans have been quietly confident about how their pre-season looks as well. But there we go. Michael saying Spurs should have done it a long time ago, and it's only crap own goal that won them that against. Listen, if Villa win the Europa League by an own goal, we don't care. I'm sorry, we can't banter Spurs. We're not in a position to downplay Spurs anymore. They've won a trophy. We haven't. We can't downplay Spurs. I'm sorry. We've got to keep the standards real here. Doesn't matter how the goal went in. No one cares and looks at the history books and go, how did you win that trophy? No one cares about when Liverpool beat Spurs 1-0 in the Champions League final 3 or 4 seasons ago about how it was a dodgy penalty or whatever. Do you know what I mean? No one cares. It's only about who lifts it. So, yeah, I don't think we can banter clubs about winning trophies until we actually win it, in my opinion. But there you go. So, final roundup. Positions then, chat. Any guesses on who you think we might sign, links to, or where we should sign before I wrap the show up? For me, we need to be in the following state of mind. Number 1, we need that defender, centre-back / right-back. Someone who can play both. I think we're done with Loic Bade. I don't think we're going off on Juan Foyth. I think we're going to have to look smart in that position. Number 2 is I think Asensio counts as that, the second player coming in. And number 3, I think it will be criminal to not have a backup number 9. I think we need that backup. But yeah, I actually think that we need that backup number 9 more than anything. So there we go. Big up SB says, loving the channel and the content. Just wondering, might you consider background change your camera setup? Looks like you're sat on the toilet. Am I the only one at the video? Love it, SB. We are actually going to be having a change in background very soon. I am moving house, and we're going to be definitely designing. Well, we are moving house, and we are going to be having a different background, a more professional look, a gamer background, as my daughter said. We're going to have a more gamer style background, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to have a different background, so stay tuned for that one. So yeah, but those are my positions. Look, Duncan said Asensio, Salamanca / Garnacho, and a right back. I would be very happy with that. Just think though, I don't want Donyal being our backup number 9. I really don't. I really don't. So, chat, we're going to bow out now. And yeah, it's Wednesday. We're getting closer to Newcastle. Tomorrow, I've got a very exciting show for you. We have a special guest hopefully joining us. Another Villa content creator who we haven't had on the channel for a while. Come to join for us, chat. And Friday, I'm hoping to have lined up a Newcastle fan for a preview to hear what they've got to say. So we've got some good stuff. It's not going to be me. It's going to be me and guests for the next 2 days, hopefully. So we're going to have a bit of collabs going on. British mate, spot on. So yeah, we've got that locked in. Might be slightly earlier tomorrow. I think it might be an 8 p.m. instead of 8:30. So we'll lock that one in. But guys, some good content coming up in the next few days. Then into game day, it's all coming thick and fast. I haven't even done my Premier League predictions. I don't even know if I will. I'm usually terrible at them, and I don't want to get lynched for getting where Villa finish. But yeah, people, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys all being in here. Thank you for taking time out to be on my show and for all your comments. And yeah, 8 p.m.ish. You know it, Michael. 8 p.m. give or take 5 minutes. But yeah, we've got a good old show going tomorrow. People, much love. Peace out. And let's see if PSG have got to come back in them. Ta-da.